Welcome back to Hannity. Former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura is walking away with $1.8 million after a jury decided he was defamed by the now deceased author of American Sniper, Navy SEAL Chris Kyle. The lawsuit stemmed from an allegation in Kyle's memoir in which Kyle claimed he punched Ventura in a bar back in 2006 for bad-mouthing Navy SEALs. Military families are, of course, outraged by the entire case and say the suit should have been dropped when Kyle was killed in Texas last year, rather than target his widow. Here now with reaction is former Navy SEAL and the author of Lone Survivor, Marcus Luttrell. Marcus, first of all, thank you for being here and thank you for your selfless service to this great nation.
Yes.
And by the way, anybody who hasn't already seen Lone Survivor, run, don't walk, go see it tonight. It's a brilliant depiction of this man's heroism. Marcus, let me start by asking you, I know that the entire Navy SEAL community is outraged about what Jesse Ventura has done in going after this widow of this war hero, Chris Kyle. Can you tell us what your reaction is to this verdict and your reaction to how the media has handled this?
Well, let me just start by saying that I'm not here to speak for the Navy SEAL community. I'm not here to speak for NSW, for the Navy, or any branch of the military. I'm kind of here on behalf of the Kyle family. Chris couldn't make it, obviously, because he's died a couple of years, or a little over a year ago, and Taya couldn't be here because she's at home with her kids, trying to wrap her mind around the fact that she's got to go to the murder trial of the alleged individual who killed Chris. But let me just say a couple of things as Navy SEALs, and one is that we covet the families of the fallen. That's one of the most important things we do, and that applies to our most senior frog all the way down to our junior SEAL pup. And another thing we do, and I understand this mentality just as good as anybody, is when we engage, when we get into a fight, we fight to win. Obviously, we roll through, walk over, or basically obliterate anybody or anything that's in our way. And I think when you do that, sometimes you lose sight of the big picture. Now, when Chris died, this thing probably should have died with him, but it didn't, and it kept on. Now, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I can't attest to what happened in the bar that night. I can't attest to what happened in the courtroom over the past few weeks. But I know that the jury came to that decision, and that's the beauty of America, is that we have our judicial system. Sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. Well, when I heard about it, I was upset, and I've gotten hundreds of emails from team guys, senior to me and junior to me, both giving me talking points on both ends of the spectrum. You can only imagine. And on the way down here, I was trying to think about what I was going to say and choose my words and how I was going to address this, but Mr. Ventura is my senior, and he's a SEAL, and I don't do my laundry outside the house. I don't talk about anybody in the community unless they're standing in front of me, and if I have a problem with them, then we'll settle it. But he is a Navy SEAL, and his trident is just as gold as everybody else's that's in our community. And team guy to team guy, blood to bone, I think that this is over. I think it should be dropped. I mean, you won, and I know that's how many different ways can you look at it, but they got. I mean, they don't have anything left. I mean, it's her and those kids, and anything they do have is for them and the betterment of their life. And I know that. I mean. No,
They are a very modest family, Marcus, of very modest means. And Jesse Ventura, I know, has said that it's not about the money, it's about the defamation. Well, okay, if that's the case, then don't take the money, right?
Right, correct. I mean, like I said, that's what you went after. I mean, you went after to clear your name. You did that. I don't, if it's not about the money, then it's not about it. You can't say one thing and have it mean another.
Well, Marcus, we have to leave it there, but I just want to thank you so much for coming in tonight and sharing your thoughts, also, again, for your great service. Jesse Ventura has shown the entire country exactly who he is, and we will just leave it there. Marcus, thank you. God bless. Yes.